man, I really appreciate you taking time to talk to me, man. This really means a lot to us. Thank you.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, I remember, God, I can't believe the surprise attack. That's 30 years old now. Is that right?
Man, when we say that, we can't believe it. We're like looking around at each other going, I can't believe it. It was like a blink, you know.
Oh.
But we were in the middle of, raising families and all that kind of stuff, so it's kind of been a blur, to be honest with you. But we're so proud of that record and Wild America. We recorded them at Ardent Studios in Memphis and worked with some great producers, and we still think that sonically and all that stuff that they still stand up. And when we listen to them now, we're like, you know what? I'm biased just because we were invested in it and everything else, but we're like, man, it still sounds good. You know, I still like how
absolutely
guitars and stuff.
Yeah, I think so too. I think. How old were you when
I think I was about 18 or 19, maybe.
Okay.
I actually dropped out of high school to join, do the band thing, and I had met the guys in high school. They were a couple of years older than me, and I'm from down in the Delta, Mississippi. I grew up Southern Baptist, and I went in and talked to my family about running away with a rock and roll band, and that was kind of an interesting, conversation.
Yeah. Were they
supportive? But they actually were. My mom is, on her side of the family, is real musical. They were kind of like what I'd call porch pickers.
Okay.
They played guitars and played piano, and they were out in the sticks, in Mississippi. And they're all super talented, but they never pursued it as a career. They loved doing it. And man, honestly, until I was probably about a teenager, I thought everybody that got together and sat around the piano and sang and played. And I thought it was just it was just kind of ingrained in me. And I realized it when I used to have my friends come to spend the night or whatever, and they go, "Oh my God, your family is amazing. They're singing." And I was like, "Man, they do that all the time. Let's, get out of here and go sneak a cigarette or something, And
sure.
But I started realizing they're like, "Man, you mean y'all don't do this at your house? You're not sitting around picking and playing." But anyway, I think it took me until I was a bit older to realize how big of a profound effect that they had on me. Just inspiring me, really, honestly.
Right.
It's pretty amazing. And my mom is like 70 years old now, and I think she gigs more than me. And just in her community,
really,
it's really funny.
That's awesome.
She found a venue at like a little small community center, and they at the last Friday of every month, she gets everything from pedal steels and acoustics and a piano player and all this stuff to show up. They put a PA up, and they have like 70 people that drive from all over different communities that are older people like them that sit around and listen to them jam.
that's
I'm like,
awesome.
Mom, y'all are doing good, and they don't charge. They're like, we're doing this for free. We're doing it at the community center, but she's like, nothing's going on down here. We're in the middle of, they're in the middle of Mississippi, so
Gotcha.
she's like, her dad, my dad, and her are going to the church they got married in 50 years ago.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. But anyway, she's funny, and she's a sweetheart, and she loves to sing and entertain and talk. So I think I just got it honestly. She just never did it professionally.
Right. Was this something you want to do, or did you kind of fall into it? Like,
man, I actually fell into it.
Sure.
I never sang in front of my family. I was like embarrassed. I was scared. They were all so great, Right. But I kind of got a little interested in learning the guitar, and my aunt and uncle started kind of showing me a couple of chords. They played me some James Taylor and Neil Young, and then I kind of got into Boston and listening to some of their records. And then, my aunt was a little bit older than me, but she completely corrupted me when I was about 6 or 7 years old. She got Kiss Destroyer, and that was kind of the end.
Right.
I mean, it scared me to death. God of Thunder came on, and I ran out of the room, and then I went back in there and said, what is that? I want to hear that again. And, I fell in love with Detroit Rock City and shouted out loud. And then my cousin and I, he's about 3 years older than me, we started collecting the records, he got Rock and Roll Over, we got Dressed to Kill, we got the first original album, we got Hotter Than Hell, we started just freaking out.
Got it.
And that was probably the first rock influence. Like, I really wanted to be Peter Criss. He was my favorite out of all of them. I thought I was going to be a drummer, but I just wasn't coordinated enough. But then at one point, I just ended up, I had a friend of mine that I had kind of moved all over the country, and we ended up landing in Memphis. My dad had moved us around the country working for an airline. And there was a guy in Memphis that he was playing guitar. He was a shredder. I mean, great, really good dude. One of those guys that just locked himself in a room for like 8 hours a day,
Right.
But he needed a singer. He said, man, we need to find somebody to sing. And I said, man, why don't I try it? I'll just, write some lyrics and scream over the top of it. He had like a little kick drum and a snare and a hi-hat, and he played the guitar, and I yelled over the drums. And I just I just liked it. I was like, man, dude, I think I could. I mean, back then, I didn't have any idea what I was doing.
Right.
But I kind of liked it, and I liked being out front. It was funny. I kind of adapted, I guess. When I first played with Keith and them, I remember we played a gig one time downtown, and I didn't look at the crowd. I stared at my feet the whole time, and I didn't move. And they were like, you got to do something, man. I mean, I was so scared. It was one of the first times we'd ever played out live, but I got acclimated to it. And, I'm still scared every time we sing. I still get,
Oh, really?
nervous and stage fright and all that. But
Yeah.
I think that's why I like it, is I get all freaked out, and then I walk out and start singing. And I go, oh, yeah, I remember. I really like this. This is awesome. I think I'm kind of like the scary part, I think, is what it is.
Yeah, it kind of wakes you up, I suppose,
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
So you're like 18, 19 years old, and you watch MTV and you see your video on the first time. What's that feel like?
Man, we were completely blown away.
Yeah.
We couldn't believe it. Yeah. I mean, it was just, because we watched, like, Headbangers Ball and all that stuff. Like, Adam Curry was the guy, we were watching it and stuff. And doing the actual recording and the album that we worked on, Surprise Hat, we worked on it for like a year. So it was kind of like this continual process. We were writing batches of songs. We'd come in and pick 2 or 3, and then we'd find another batch and keep going. It's kind of like they do demo sessions here in Nashville. But anyway, it was such a process and everything. And even shooting a video, it was kind of like we were working on these things, but we didn't know that we didn't see the end result, or in our mind how it was going to be. We didn't know what to expect. So
Gotcha.
when the record came out at the very beginning, it completely blew us away when we saw the artwork. And I mean, the album cover is killer, but when it came to us, it was a giant poster. I mean, it was like the whole airplane and
cool.
the chick. And I mean, we just went, oh my God, this is amazing. And then the video coming out was just incredible, because at the time they had you could call in and vote. So the radio station was announcing it. They were like, call in and vote for Walker Shoes, Tora Tora.
Yep.
DJs were helping us and all that stuff. So, I mean, it was just kind of crazy. It happened really fast, honestly. We just felt like we were kind of cruising along and kind of trucking along and recording, and all of a sudden it came out, and we were like, oh my God, it's like getting on TV. And
Yeah.
I mean, we were watching, and it debuted and came out, and it was one of the craziest. But that and hearing your song on the radio for the first time was,
Sure.
crazy. And we were lucky back in Memphis anyway. The time that we were coming along, it was a burgeoning, growing scene where there was activity, there was producers coming in, there was A&R people showing up, they were having showcases and all that kind of stuff. And they supported local original music, and to be able to hear something like that on the radio, like people were vying for this locals only slot, this DJ that was playing stuff, and it was a good competitive spirit. But we knew that everybody, if one person was doing good, it was going to help everybody. So we were all kind of rooting for each other.
Absolutely.
And so it's a good community, and we're still friends with a lot of those guys that we grew up with back then. We still talk to them and see them. And,
Sure.
But yeah, doing the Walking Shoes video was, that was our most successful, by far single.
Yep.
And it was just incredible. I think we toured for about 2 years off that song. We put out Guilty and Phantom Rider and as support singles, but that was the one that was just, we started out in a little 15-passenger van, pulling out of Memphis to go to New York, and we ended up riding around in buses and opening up for Bonham and Nicole and playing coliseums and stuff. I mean, it was just insane. It was.
Gotcha. Yeah, that.
It was a great experience, man. I mean, honestly, it was like being in a movie. I mean, it was just crazy. We were really cooking along, and we had a great record label that was giving us support, that would help us out, give us tour support and stuff, and we just said, we don't want to go home. If you didn't leave us out here,
Right.
We'll just stay out here. So, and I mean, that was amazing of them. So we loved that company and the people that worked there. And I still talk to some of those people. Some of them are here in Nashville. Our product manager and some of the promotion people, radio promotion staff, and some A&R guys. It's just been just a huge part of our life. I mean, it's just crazy.
At that time, were you getting pressure at all about as far as like, try to sound more like Bon Jovi or Motley Crue, or was there? You hear horror stories of the record companies really trying to pressure people at that point, trying to.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a corporate kind of thing. We didn't know it back then, but in hindsight, especially after moving here to Nashville, I worked at RCA and Sony here in artist development marketing, and worked in the publishing world. So, a lot of what you were hearing back then is I don't hear a single. I don't hear the lead off track or whatever it is. You got great songs. We got plenty of support. Let's see if we can beat it, or let's get you with some writers, which was, for somebody young and little, I mean, we were just trying to figure it out. We were a little bit rebellious, because we were kind of wanting to stand our ground. And we were like, we thought we had a good idea of what was going on, but in the end game, I mean, they were just trying to give us as much ammo as they could to be successful,
Oh, gotcha.
And that pressure thing, a lot of it was ourselves. We were just trying to come up with the best things that we could. I mean, God, man, we wrote 60 or 70 songs for each one of those.
Oh, really? Wow.
Records. Yeah, because we would work over them over a year.